Well, jailhouse recordings likely will be played in court today in the Drew Peterson murder for hire trial. A fellow prisoner testifying yesterday, Peterson tried to get him to arrange a hit on prosecutor James Glasgow. When the prisoner told authorities about Peterson's plans, they started recording their conversations. Glasgow prosecuted Peterson for the murder of his third wife, Kathleen Savio. Peterson was convicted and is currently serving a 38-year sentence for Savio's murder. And the prosecution's star witness in this trial says Peterson also admitted killing his fourth wife, Stacey Peterson. She is still missing. Lise Wheel is a Fox News legal analyst. Bob Bianchi is a criminal defense attorney, former head county prosecutor, and a trial attorney as well. What a case. Now, normally these cases involving, jailhouse informants, jailhouse snitches, as they're often called, they don't often amount to much, but this time police say they have recordings.
Right, and what the defense is going to try to say is, look, he doesn't say kill or die or anything like that on the tapes. The fact that they have the recording at all is a big deal, and the fact that they're even talking about anything having to do with the prosecutor is a big deal on these tapes at all. So, and also the fact that the quote-unquote snitch doesn't get any reduced sentence is a big deal, and the prosecutor will play that up a lot.
But the fact is, Bob, I mean, these recordings, we haven't heard them yet. Maybe we will after they're played in open court. But they're supposed to be full of jailhouse jargon, and they're kind of difficult to decipher.
Yeah, well, they're going to have an expert that it's going to decipher it. And let's not remember that he had made comments when he was originally convicted against this prosecutor in 2013. And I agree with Lise that in addition to the fact that this jailhouse informant is being offered no incentive to testify, that he actually went to law enforcement and said, why don't you record these conversations? And from what we know of this case, the jailhouse jargon clearly is a conspiratorial attempt to try to pay $10,000 to have the prosecutor killed. I think this is a slam dunk case for the prosecutor.
It doesn't hurt that the guy who is the snitch is apparently a hulking motorcycle gang member. Yeah, nicknamed the Beast.
Right.
Yeah, and John, a lot of times we as prosecutors put witnesses on that have nefarious backgrounds and characters, and I don't know what Lisa's experience is.
You don't go after the angel to go off somebody that you want to get killed.
Yeah, bad people are hanging out with bad people. It doesn't mean that they won't be perceived as credible in front of the jury, and I think this guy will, especially because he's not saying, hey, he said it to me, give me a break. He's saying, look, not only did he say it to me, not only am I not looking for a break, but why don't you record the conversations and I can prove it to you. Very compelling witness in my mind.
Glasgow, the prosecutor who apparently is the intended target of James Peterson, actually listened to these recordings. He says, you don't hear him say the word kill, but it's pretty obvious what he means, and because he's obviously the subject of this murder for hire plot, he then turned the case over to another prosecutor.
You have to, but we were talking about this. Both of us have been, as prosecutors, been targeted by people that we've prosecuted before. You have to. That's part of our ethics. Once you're a target of someone that you've prosecuted before, you have to then turn the prosecution of that person over to someone else in the office, because then you're the victim of that prosecution.
But the obvious question, and I'm sure the defense will raise this, is what does Drew Peterson get out of it? I mean, rubbing out the prosecutor isn't going to lessen his sentence.
Well, he actually provides the motive. He has a motive to want to come after the prosecutor. He made a comment, don't forget my face.
Don't forget my face.
Which is essentially 2013 he made that comment, and now he's getting his revenge.
And John, you're thinking of it as, you're asking us questions as a rational person would. Forgive me, but Peterson's not thinking as a rational person would.
What about, again, Stacey Peterson is still missing. There are widespread suspicions that Drew Peterson had to do with the disappearance of his fourth wife, but her body's never been found. He's never been charged in that case. If, in fact, he did say something on tape to, to the Beast, this other jailhouse snitch, can that be used to implicate him in the disappearance, in the death of his fourth wife?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Would there be enough there to open a murder case?
Potentially.
I've
certainly.
actually tried a murder case where a jailhouse informant said that somebody had confessed to the crime. The body was missing. It couldn't be found. Now, that is a difficult part for a prosecutor when there is no body there. But given his prior history of 3 previous murders, his attempt to kill a prosecutor and another 4th wife
can all be
missing,
brought in.
you know what? Listen, as a prosecutor, what I would say at that point in time is, let's put it on trial and see what happens. I mean, what can you lose? He's going to be doing a life sentence anyway.
You can bring a homicide case without the body.
Right.
We'll see what the Beast has to say in these jailhouse recordings expected to be played in court today. Wow. Bob Bianchi, Elise Wheel, thank you both.
Thanks, Jim.